All right, hey guys. I was out doing work this morning, the beautiful tree carving on the door, and I found something which was a bit concerning, to say the least. I found these in the past years, and I've kind of spoken to my neighbors about them, and they've let me know that, in the forests up the mountains and stuff, that we have jaguars, black panthers, pumas, jaguarundis, ocelots, a number of big cats. Another set of elements to deal with in Costa Rica, like swimming in the rivers and the ocean. You might get crocodiles and things like that. So, having now 5 dogs, rest in peace Simba, but once having 6 dogs, I was always concerned of, predators coming on the property. Typically it's like scorpions and terciopellos or fer-de-lance snakes, which are venomous. And, my little dogs, Ruby and Gizmo, and Jasmine too, they run freely around the property kind of all day long. In a 12-hour sunlight setting, they're probably outside for 8 hours, just kind of wandering and doing their thing, and they always come back, so I trust them. But now I'm a little bit concerned because I found this morning a fairly large paw print. I'm gonna estimate it was like the size of my fist, and I have larger hands. I'm gonna go film it now, and I'll put my flat hand by it. And I would love if anybody watching this video who has any type of expertise in larger cats, please let me know what you think this is. My first thought was it was a mountain lion, a puma, and it seemed like it just came onto the edge of my property in the little brook, the Quebrada in Espanol, to get some water. But my concern is, like, where is it living? Is it living behind my property? There's also concern, should I contact my neighbors because they have baby horses and baby cows? Is this going to be a concern for them as well? So maybe some of you guys in Vasconia will be watching this video, and now I think we have a puma wandering in the Quebradas, that kind of trail, the back of all of our properties, and it cuts right through my property. So if you're living in Vasconia, keep an eye out, protect your animals, and with no further ado, I'm going to take a walk through the little bit of a farm and through the Quebrada, and then I'll show you guys the paw print, and you let me know what you think. So thank you. Okay, so I'm doing a little tour, and I'll do some plant IDing while we go along the way. So we've got an acerola cherry tree here, beautiful pink flowers, ornamental underneath it, and I'm actually going to start propagating this for other areas and for vivero bags so we can sell these. On the other side, flanked with a massively rapidly growing cacao tree, and then I just got a bunch of chili peppers, and right by that building there's a citrus. I think that's going to be an orange tree. And then on the other side, ice cream bananas, guanabana, caimito, chili pepper, caviar lime, finger lime also called. And then as I'm passing through here, this is my little coffee farm. Oh look, you see the lizard? Big lizard, iguana. This is the rapidly growing canela, or in English, cinnamon, which I'm really excited for. We've got the orange tree. We've still got a bunch of oranges. They're ripening and they're delicious right now. There's some up there that are like the size of softballs, which is amazing. And then coming through here, you can see the coffee farm is flourishing. We've got tons and tons of coffee beans growing and coming in. Some of them are starting to get bigger to the ripen stage. Let's see right here. You see these guys? So once these turn red, we can harvest them and then start to roast them and ferment them. Oh, there's some animal over there. I hope that wasn't a fucking mountain lion. I'm not in the mood to fight a big cat right now, but look at this beautiful coffee. I'm very grateful, very grateful. So as you'll see, these coffee trees, plants, are getting big in just a few years. We planted these, they were maybe 2 feet tall 2 years ago, and now they're taller than me, so they're like 2 meters now. I'm just about 6 feet tall, and they're growing quick. So you can see my little coffee farm behind me, and the big Mama Guanacaste tree that you've seen in other videos. This is a different angle. So there's one entrance to the Quebrada. These tires were originally in another part. There's like a big curve, and the former owners had them there as like erosion control. And obviously I don't, need the tires there, but also when they dug the brook deeper. The municipalidad, the engineers came. They took those out for me. So I've had these on the tennis court for the dogs to just fuck around with, jump on, like little toys to play on. But I'm actually gonna embed them in the ground there and make kind of like a tiered system going down to the river, so we could hang out and sit and cover it with, you know, gravel and dirt, and just have a nice area to sit. So this morning I cut all this grass with the machete over here, and when I finished, another little cinnamon coming up, bananas, avocado. This morning I planted, this is the custard apple. I planted a little papaya here. You can see the papaya leaf. So we've got maybe 20 or 30 papayas growing on the property. This is an avocado. This is a nice ornamental that started growing that people sell in viveros. And there's some type of vine coming in. I don't know if this is some type of bean, but I like to let things grow and see what they become. And yeah, this is kind of the jungle part. Here's another cacao that's doing well underneath a giant mango tree, which is fruiting. Not as much as past years, but maybe we'll get a good second phase. And yeah, so I'm gonna step down into the Quebrada, the river right now, and I'm gonna turn the angle so you guys can see this part of the property, which I've actually not really shown. I think in one other video, I did a big circumambulation around the property, and I might have come through here, but I might have skipped over this little river. So now you guys can see where we have some fish year round, because it actually stays hydrated, filled with water even during dry season, since they've dug it deeper. And now we've got a little trickle of mountain water coming through. But what's really nice is there are actually three spots on the property currently that are like pools, right? Little like lounge pools that if it gets really hot, I say we, friends that stop by and stuff, we can go hang out and lounge. So anyway, I'm gonna turn the camera around now. Okay. So walking in, so you still got one of the tires here for a step and erosion control. And then this will, in heavy rains, the water comes down from the mountains and channels through here to that big Parita River, which you've seen in other videos. And this will be maybe up to here, probably the water, like 4 feet deep at least. Some areas probably 6 feet deep, and you'll see the bank. So it goes almost all the way to the top of the bank sometimes. And as you see in the past couple years, it's been carving through. I don't know if you can see those fish swimming around in there. There's a little bit of light refraction. This is not one of the pools. This is just a little fishy hangout area. But as we get over here, I was cooling down after cutting the grass and planting the trees. And I noticed this tree had come down. So I wanted to see where it came from and what had happened. And then this is one of the bigger pools. So once this tree clears out, this is like a little lounge area we could swim in. It's actually a lot of fish in there. You could hear there's some thunder coming, so the rain's on its way. And this is more of the wild jungle that I let grow in onto the property so that the animals feel safe to be here. But again, not thinking mountain lions, I'm thinking more monkeys and sloths and things like that. You'll see there's tons of fish in this little river, this little stream, which is nice because when I first moved here, this would dry up. And obviously fish can't live where there's no water, but they've been able to live year round now. So I'm really happy. We've got like a population of fishies here, and they're getting bigger and bigger. Some of them are like the size of my hand at this point because they've got the deeper pools to go in. This is my quebrada. Along the side, we've got some strong rooting trees for erosion control, and intermingled, you can see some bananas and plantains. And on this side, lots of coconuts. And this is the island that I've spoken about that I've recently planted up with dozens of bananas and plantains and custard apples and jackfruit and just a ton. There's corn up there, there's yucca, there's pretty much every food that I eat. Chili peppers, spinach. It's endless. I got at least 50 different species of things growing up on that island right now, from vegetables to fruits to medicinal herbs. There's some coca up there. There's a bunch of different stuff. So anyway, oh my God, I'm passing over it. I'm glad I didn't just step on it. So here we go. So here is the border of my property, and this is my neighbor Papillo's farm. He has usually papaya growing, or like watermelon. And then in this area, there's usually cows and horses, typically about 40 to 50 of them. And recently there's been a bunch of babies, so that's why I'm concerned. Of course, I'm concerned for my dogs, but if this large cat, maybe a mountain lion, came in through here, this is a good way for animals to navigate without being seen by humans, right? There's usually baby cows and horses like right there, so it makes me a little nervous, and I'll probably send him or his son Danny a message just to give them a heads up, like keep an eye out, take care of the animals, keep a head count. So anyway, I walk over here before and you can see some of my footprints, but there's this one and then there's more definitive here. Look at that. So it looks like it came just to grab a drink of water, or it jumped this way and went deeper into my property. So if anybody can help me identify, so here's my hand. And here's my fist. So you can get an idea of the size, right? So it's obviously not like a house cat. It's not one of my dogs, because you can see the paw prints and the claws are different. So it's a feline. Correct me if I'm wrong. But the size, the fact that it's the size of my fist and I have a bit of a larger hand for an adult man, that makes me think it's a mountain lion. Let me know what you think. Those are the best two prints I could find. Let me just get some different angles so any experts that are watching can tell me what that might be. Get a little higher and we'll get a little closer too, just to have perspective. So let me know what you might think. I do leave this a little more wild growing because there's some beautiful things that grow naturally. Like, I don't know what these are called. Are these like elephant plants or something? But look how beautiful. So I've actually transplanted a couple of these closer to the house because they're gorgeous, but I like to leave, to grow wild. Look how big they get. And then you'll see, there's plantains and different various types of bananas all intermingled throughout here. And I like to keep this a little more wild for the monkeys, actually. So I'll never harvest. You'll see right through there, there's also a set of bananas and stuff. So I never harvest these for the sake of bringing proper wildlife into the property. This is like the monkey zone, and they have this whole canopy that they can travel across and they can eat and feed and flourish. And you hear my dogs going crazy. Hopefully that doesn't mean there's a mountain lion hiding from me and going to get them. I joke, but it is the jungle. And a lot of people say, oh, I'm like secondary forest at the base of the farms and the mountains and all this stuff. This is jungle. That is verified jungle. If you were walking through this, you would not be able to navigate yourself. That's jungle/food forest, but I've allowed this to grow in. I've got more quadrados there, type of banana plantain mix, I guess you would call it, because they're very, very sweet plantains. And then this area is a little overgrown. There's a reason for that. I am throwing every once in a while coconuts in here, so eventually this will be like a little more reasonable coconut farm instead of having to harvest from these high trees up there. And I almost broke my thumb off of my hand as I was harvesting them a couple months ago, and one fell like right towards my head, high velocity, and I put my hand up thinking it was like a basketball, and they're not. So as this coconut's falling down from a super high height, I put my hand up to try to block it, and it literally hit the palm of my hand, hit my thumb, and bent my thumb back all the way to my wrist. And I immediately heard like a crack and a snap, and I thought, that's it. I just broke or fractured off my entire thumb, which obviously is the most functional finger. And I have a very high pain tolerance from what I've been through, but this hurt a whole fucking lot. Pardon my language, but that situation warrants a couple curse words. And trust me, I was saying a lot of them that day. I probably said that specific one about 30 times on my way back to the house. And thankfully, knocking on some wood over here, no long-term problems, and I'm good. So thankfully I heal really quickly too. But anyway, please let me know what you think that animal is. This is nice. Although they're being eaten right now, we have mangoes falling off the trees. Nice ripe mangoes. So I got to go find some, harvest some. Some for me, some for the dogs. And yeah, so this video is not so much about agriculture, although I did include some stuff. I want to thank the Mauser Foundation. They gave me this new form of oregano, which is amazing. Oh, like seriously so delicious. I walk around the property all day grabbing basil, oregano, lemon verbena, lemongrass, all this stuff, and I literally just crunch it up. And while I'm working, I inhale it. A lot of people do drugs, inhalants and stuff like whippets. Here in Costa Rica, we do all natural inhalants and whippets. Healthy for you. They're not gonna kill you, deprive you of oxygen. This is a big almond tree that's coming in. This is actually another form of oregano. This is like the mountain oregano. Also delicious. God, life is good here. All right, you'll see up on the tree here, there's a bunch of mangoes coming in. Do you see all them? Got dozens and dozens of mangoes coming in. So once they start ripening a little more and turning that reddish color and eventually purple, I'll take them down and I'll eat them. Although if you haven't been to Costa Rica, the Costa Ricans actually prefer the green ones and they do salt on them. It's harder, it's not soft like a ripe mango. And that's actually the preferred method as far as I've experienced in my 5 years here. My Tico friends are always asking me for green mangoes, mango verde, and not the ripe ones. So interesting, right? In North America, everybody likes the ripe ones. Here, they like the green ones. We've got some flourishing miracle berry. I've got 2 of them here, or miracle fruit. And I'll do the experiment with people at some point that have not experienced this. Once it's fruiting, if you eat a miracle berry and then you take a lime or a lemon that's normally like very acidic, that'll make your mouth pucker. When you eat it, if you eat a miracle berry first and then you eat a lemon or a lime, it actually tastes sweet. So it transforms in an alchemical way, sour to sweet, which is miraculous, miracle. Anyway, it's about to start storming. You'll probably see the sky, the cloud cover coming over, the dark clouds. I love this time of day. Anyway, the point of the video was, please help me identify what that big cat is. I mean, it's not gonna make a huge difference because I'm still gonna be looking out for the dogs and being very mindful and aware. It's more than likely that it's coming in here at night anyway, and my dogs are inside at nighttime. But just for the sake of my neighbors who have, newborn cows, newborn horses, it would be pertinent for them to know and just kind of be mindful of what's going on. Maybe even put a trail cam up to protect their properties and their farms and their investments. Just walking around the property a little bit right now. You see the tomb of Hercules, my first dog, growing beautiful flowers. We've got millions, I say millions, I'm exaggerating, but lots of beautiful guanabana coming in. You can see so many of them all over. I'm just really happy with the way the property is developing. We've got the chocolate chilies here, the chocolate habaneros. Oh, they're falling off. They're so ripe, but delicious. Just kidding. I won't do that for the video right now. We'll do it with other people and have some fun in future videos. Yeah, this is a maracuya or passion flower that will become passion fruit. And I'm creating like a tunnel or an archway with some on each side. You can see I've got some bamboo that is climbing up here. It's a little low right now, but I'm gonna reorient it and make them higher so that they can grab onto each other and then create a cool little walkway. Whole bunch of other trees, flowers, cacao, guava, coconut, pomegranate, bunch of different flowers, cactus, chan. This is a really good herb. Also good to walk around and smell. You can see my little flower gardens in the corners coming along really well. Lots of colors, beautiful oranges. Got a bunch of chili peppers here, some nursery items, more flowers, more plantains, another pomegranate, caviar lime. And that's all I got for you today. And unfortunately this week, this beautiful Bismarck palm just committed suicide, like killed itself out of nowhere. It was doing fine for 4 or 5 years and it just cracked in half. So now these guys, I'm guessing this is dead. It's not going to regenerate itself. Could also use an expert to diagnose that for me. But yeah, we may have to say goodbye to this beautiful Bismarck palm here. So I don't know if I'll get another one. I might plant a fruit tree or might just have that as like an open space and put some chairs there, because there is actually a concrete base that I don't keep too clean. So I may redo the concrete or maybe some cobblestone, and we'll just have like a little table there on a nice day with like a, what do you call it, a bigger umbrella, and just have a little like lunch area, outdoor lunch area in between all the flowers. So if this is completely dead and gone, I'll take it down in the next few months. And then, like I said, I'm going to rebuild that to make it like a little hangout area in between the gardens. But that's all I got for today. I really just wanted to seek some advice and let anybody know in Costa Rica, now that, you know, summer season is over and rainy season is starting. If you live near water, obviously the wildlife is going to come down to drink from the water. So be mindful if you're walking your animals or you allow your animals to roam freely throughout the day and night. Just be aware that there's predators around, and to be mindful and careful. Also with yourself, if you're working in this land alone, know what you need to do to survive and know which animals you have to fight back and which animals you have to run from. Mountain lion, I had them in North Jersey. If you're ever in a situation with them, you have to fight back. Like Wu-Tang said, you got to protect your neck, because that's what they're going to come for, neck and head. And you got to fight. I always have a machete on me, so if these motherfuckers try me, I mean, it's going to be a battle to the death. Hopefully we can make friends like Mowgli in the Jungle Book, but you never know. You got to be ready to protect yourself. So anyway, thanks for tuning in, guys. Like, share, subscribe. I love you forever.